nigga, but now an afro. Oodles and pools and O's and poodles and poodles and poodles and O's, you know, they giving oodles and O's and poodles and poodles and poodles and O's, you know, they giving oodles and O's and O's and poodles and poodles and poodles of O's. Last up the fast blood pipers at the door. In your eyes burning like rubbing alcohol. Native is the tongue that speaks the guacamole. Kinfolk with latest in stereo. Here we go. Chants play the part of a herd and a show. Hard Prince the Beast on his jeans of the bones. But let the herd know these they wanna throw. Lunches of punches is what I bestow. Oodles of O's that has my hoes and my checks. O's take the shape of medallions and strengths. Don't forget the O's that let the air in my nose. Breathe in the fresh as the snail hit the road. Girls ask for clicks and I'll block the pole. Eat the outings, won't sniff the first blows. Mace got something to say and it goes.
Maceo is rocking on the radio.
Now I think we're talking about the oodles of O's, you know. I think we're talking about the oodles of O's. Yeah, we're talking about the oodles of O's, you know. I think we're talking about the oodles of O's. I think we're talking about the oodles of O's, you know. I think we're talking about the oodles of O's. Yeah, we're talking about the oodles of O's, you know. I think we're talking about the shit. Hoods like to play macho, you know. Guns going bold. People hit the flow. Don't targeted firms and I'm in command show. Charging barricades like a raging rhino. We're doing some big and some with dumb holes. The landlord is finished, but before I go, I give a shout out to Quest and my fellow jungle bro. Not by the dock of the bay, by the snow. Swimming in the rhythm of the hottie, know. Punk Pinocchio's gotta go, gotta know. What's the reason? To be cheerful. Season is means time to be diplomo. Nuts can overflow with the shaders in the know. On with me hat, dreadlock is heading out the door, y'all. We're selling those, y'all. We're selling
Hey, I'm
those.
top. Hey, Alexander. Okay. Just fuck around. I forgot I was supposed to I was supposed to show you show what I bought at the record store and the video store when I was here. So how you doing? I'm in Medellin, Colombia still, and can't find my bank card. So I'm kind of locked into work mode today. So I'm gonna try and get this Nicky Giovanni record uploaded. It's just frustrating because, I feel like the universe is fucking with me a little bit. I'm not even one of those guys that subscribes to that shit, but too many weird things have been happening. Like yesterday was real interesting because, I mentioned before, I'm working on this script about Tupac. Tupac is alive. Hey, Alexander. I was hanging out here, and I don't have it here, but if you can imagine, like this is like how sugar comes. But then, like if I had gotten, like I reached in to get a pack of sugar, and the way it was hooked up, it was too stuck together, right? So it dawned on me later that's like I had 2 packs of sugar, right? So I said, okay, well that's a good sign. But yesterday was ultra weird because, like I said, I was waiting to get some money into my bank account because the bank had fucked me up. Charles had sent me money and never showed up in the account even though I deposited. So it kind of fucked me up. I had to stay here an extra day, and now it's turned into 4 days. And so yesterday was the first day of freedom. Like I was on the bail money beats jail money. Yesterday was the first day I thought I had some money to go out and do some stuff. So I was ready to go to ATM and get cash, and I couldn't find my debit card. But I always stash money. I hide money for myself, So I was digging through my wallet and I found $50 cash. I said, well, I'll just go cash that. That'll be my budget for the day. Hey, KG, where's everybody who's still watching tuning in from? And is the sound good? Because does the sound okay?
Yeah, but you even get better treatment to that girl named Selena from Uptown like a daisy. You gave her some of your special donuts for free.
So this is what this is all about, huh? Donuts.
No, positive creative music is all about hate love.
Look, I don't understand when you diss me. It's not like I'm poor. I don't have 2 kids in every state.
But you probably have 2 girls in every state. You're not going to go about it like I want you to. You just leave. I can't be so hard.
Yeah, and
Where's that voice coming from?
King Son.
From nowhere?
Oh, my H is broken. Don't think I'm doing dumb
what up,
shit.
T-Man?
The H literally is stuck on the
Yeah, man, I hate
H. I have to pound it to get the fucking.
Word up. Yo, Dayla, yo, those punk kids, man. Yo, man, those kids are whack, man. Straight up boom, whack. Yo, man, but yo, that buddy, though, that was kind of far, man. The power slam. Word up, yo, word. Forget about that, man. Yo, after they came out with Club 1, Club 2, the pothole, yo, man, they fell over the brothers, man. Yes, they did, man. Yo, they was straight up popping. I'm telling you, get the fact. Yo, check it out. BWRS doing a party at the club, yo, man. Word up. Yo, I ain't let the brothers show, man. Let the brothers get up. Go jack on the niggas. My name is the Pasta. Now I like to.
Oh, funny story. Everybody, like, I look like bugging out. So when I was, but we went on class trip to Brazil, and I had a De La Soul shirt from like the De La Soul Daisy H, like that logo, the logo that's on the back here. I had that shirt. I wish I could. Well, if I still had, I could sell on eBay for like $300. But I had that shirt on and the glasses. Now, mind you, in college, I looked exactly the same. But in New York, people would say, like, there's all white folks like, you remind me of Raj from What's Happening, and I took that as an insult. So I was in Rio de Janeiro, and we're hanging out at a club, and this girl walked up to me and she said, "Are you De La Soul?" Right? Because you have to imagine, like, the guy, like plug 3 or plug 1 or whoever the fuck that is. Like, back in the day, I had those exact glasses out of flat top, and this woman thought I was that guy because I had the De La Soul shirt on. And one of the biggest mistakes in my life was saying, "No, I'm not him. I'm Michael Dennis." So I missed out on chlamydia that evening. But just jokes. I don't know if the young. I said young lady. She's pretty attractive, but you know, herpes. Anyway, positive news. Now I'm gonna show off all my record store finds. So, like the repeat. Oh, the day. So yesterday, let me go back, finish the story. So yesterday was weird because I thought I was leaving the house late, but I had to go through all these little bumps to get to stuff. Like it's like I was hungry. I had to go find some food. I got like some really good Chinese food, and then I had to wait for an Uber in the rain. Like, you know, it was sunny, it was like drizzly, and then all of a sudden it was almost like a downpour, and I'm standing waiting for this Uber, and then we get in the Uber, and I had like an address, but it wasn't the right address for this record store. So I'm walking all around the barrio, talking to people, trying to find this fucking record store that doesn't exist. Eventually I found out that the address was way wrong where the Uber dropped me off. But I ended up in a bookstore that was like right around the corner from where the guy dropped me off. Like you walk through like a tunnel where the garage, like you have like a garage where they had taxi cabs. And I saw the taxi cabs and I said, well, anybody knows anything about the city is going to be driving a cab. So I asked one of the cab drivers, and he kept like waving me through. And then he pointed around the corner, and there was this little cubby hole bookstore, and most of the books were in Spanish, but they had like 3 shelves worth of vinyl. So, and they're 5 mil pesos a piece. So I'll show you that in a second. Hey, ABKG, all the initials are in the building today. VA, Jezreel, Bruno. I got 4 thumbs up. You can see we're strictly underground. So this I got in Bogota. I have to go back and get another Black Panther DVD. But there's no DVDs anymore. You know, like you have to go to real. I did see Us. We're gonna talk about it this weekend. I saw it in Spanish, so it's an interesting thing. Goldfinger, Spanish cover. You know, I figure what the hell. I mean, it's stuff. It's like $6, something like that. This is the find of the decade. So when I get back, I'm gonna stop at Bogota for a minute, and because I have a free night, I'm gonna stay over in Bogota and go back to Tempo Records and see if they have more of these. Because I'm not gonna stockpile on them, because God knows who they definitely play in the U.S., but they also cost money, and I'm not giving them away, and they certainly are common enough where it's not, unless I got the entire cast to sign this thing, it would be worthless other than to Charles and me. This was a dope find Collateral Beauty in Spanish, Will Smith. You know, I mentioned before that I like Jacob Lattimore's performance. An interesting film. I mean, you know, Will Smith, he's super new agey, super Scientology, even though he claims he's not Scientology. No, I'm in Bogota. I'm sorry, Medellin, Colombia today. Oh, well, that's nice framing. I like the glass, and let me see if I can get a nice shot out of that. There's a little reflection or something. So, Alexander, I'm in Bogota, I'm in Colombia. I can't find my bank card. I have to get ready for a presentation in about 4 hours. I got to Skype in. So you're helping me make sure the connection's good and that, you know, kind of thought a little bit about how I'm going to set the thing up so that when they Skype in, they feel like they're part of it. But this is good. Wi-Fi is spotty. Everybody says it's a problem with Apple. Like I have to use a Movistar. It's only 3G, so everything's kind of like is geared up more for 4 or 5G, so it doesn't always line up. Sometimes I haven't had any drop calls, but it takes forever. The buffering is ridiculous on iPhone when you're on the street.
Boy on Thursday night. Boy was high, girl fly like night. They hold hands until next day. Boy, then let's go hit his way. Boy was one back to his door. Direction brings that boy joy. Boy thinks of that big fat back. Big black back, the big black back. Boy goes forth to stand him up on Saturday.
It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. Nobody but me remembers this record. That's ridiculous. 5 days of work.
Slip your butt to the bits of this mix. Once that briefcase is time to let this stick to work like hell to get the weekend jack. So one fashion that's super around your neck. Connected like a vibe. Come on, everybody, get the funky outfit.
5 days of work, 1 whole day to play. Come on, everybody, lay your roller skates today.
It's Saturday, 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 it's a Saturday, yeah. Saturday, yeah.
I slip your butt to the fix of this mix. Once that briefcase is time to let loose, make it work like hell to get the weekend jack. So unfasten that sleeper on your neck. Connected like a vibe from the wheel to the foot. Come on, everybody, get the funky output.
5 days of work, 1 whole day to play. Come on, everybody, lay your roller skates today.
It's Saturday, 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 yeah.
Now as you pump your fist, I remember this to a bounce rock stage, go fast to impress. Hey,
What happened? Supposed to go
Do
seamless.
you like the way I'm dressed? Ooh, keep the faith and be my mate, cause all we need is
Gotta work on that trick.
but promote the hustle cause it keeps me thin. No need to talk, look, you just walked in.
All right, how about you? Did I freeze? Still the same 11 people? Not saying
Yes, man.
All right.
Get the way I want
Let's get
it.
to the bottom.
Sprinkler, Mr. Sprinkler. Wet me for one, Mr. Sprinkler. I'm heating hot.
Nobody's impressed. I threw away $100 for that.
Out comes the bodies following the one idea. It's clear. Rattle to the roll.
All right, who just walked in? Number 12. I'm showing off my records, but nobody's saying anything. So I'm not going to work as hard.
Come on, there's no time to hide. Season is swift, spinning and winning. No hack and sack, let me in. Spill on the
Nothing.
bottom
Bueller.
of the wave, but it's
Bueller.
okay. It's bad.
All right.
Now let's all get baked like Anita.
Watch Mr. Long and look at the beater.
Feel on the farm, I'll feel on the.
Hey, watch that.
It's a Saturday.
Now is the time to act the fool tonight. Forget about your worries and you will be alright. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday.
We've just played 15 minutes of commercial-free music. Of course, you're listening to WRMS FM, and we play nothing but daylight slow music. We're coming up on the hour of 10 o'clock. It's a full moon, perfect night for lovers. We're about to do something we don't usually do, and that's, well, I'll show you.
Hello, who's this?
Squirrel.
Hi, this is Hello on the top. My name is Zuna. I'm with Generation Burger King, and I just called to tell you that I love your radio station. I love everything you guys do.
Thank you. And with that,
You know what just happened? The guy who wrote that ripoff is going to get all the money from this video. Just jack that video up. The real killer's not getting the music on that one. Making a way when you can. Temporary layoffs. Oh, thank you. All right, G6. Now I can. You got some new people in it. Hanging in a driving. Hanging in a driving. Or is it hanging in a chow line? Or hanging in a jiving? All right, anyway. And then the other one is, excuse me while I eat this fly. Or in Trading Places, they say, when you think of love, does ya? And then, does anyone play that game? I think it's Reggie in the bathtub probably would show it up. I'm not going to show the video, but I'll let you listen. When we was when we was kids, we had to fart to make bubbles. So if you, all right, so here's the trick. So you look at the scene. Let's see. I guess it's maybe this one. So if you look at the scene, what's he saying in the song?
Jacuzzi, sir.
You see, man, I knew y'all was faggots, man. You ain't jacuzzing nobody.
It's a whirlpool bar. I think you'll enjoy it.
Hey, bubbles, man. Say, man, when I was growing up, we want jacuzzi. We had to fart in the tub. This is bad. When you think of love, do your heart beat fast?
Right. So that's the song. So when he's singing, the question, the trivia question is
You gonna eat that?
All right, guess who's back in the
the trivia question. He says, when you think of love, does your heart beat loud and fast? Or is it when you think of love, does your butt want to pass some gas? You know, so or when you think of love, does your heart beat loud and now? Right? Or is it when you think of love, does your heart beat loud and fast? So that's the trivia question. Which one is he saying? You know, if they brought back Chappelle's show. I ended up at El Corral, and I put this on Instagram. Put it up close. So this is a pretty decent fast food chain. They also have Burger King and McDonald's, but they also have things that are more tuned to the Latin flavors. So that's their menu. I'm not gonna have a frame, but I stole it or borrowed it. I have to go back and order. I'm still waiting to order, so I didn't really steal it yet. But that was the stuff that they had to sell, the offer, and then the prices at the time. Well, the food was excellent. So on Instagram, a little salty. I had the Philadelphia steak. That was the choice I had, and I showed Instagram. Decent. I mean, it was way better than Arby's. I said that immediately. And then when I tasted, it's like nice. Beef is very, very abundant here in South America, especially this part. But it was a little salty. It was too, like getting used to some of the flavors. Like, the sodas are great because you have, like, they'll drink straight lemonade is almost like the national drink, or like freshly squeezed lemonade with very little sugar, if any. It has like a nice froth on it. I don't know how they get the froth, if it's just the machine that they mix it in or what, but you tend to have that at every meal. And their go-to is the soda without the sugar. Like, so if you ask for a Coke, the first thing they'll do is give you one that has no sugar, So, first couple times I had to say, like, hey, wait a second. So they have like they have Coke Zero, they have Coke without sugar, and then they have Coke Original. Right. And then, but so that's the go-to, but then if you ask for Coke on the street, it's a glass bottle original Coke. It's almost like Mexican Coke. So that's my little food thing. And then 3:00, you can't even access the ATM. I mean, you can go further down the street, but the one on the corner, it's like an ATM. They shut that shit down at 3:00. I found out the hard way. But all right, so here's, and once again, repeat, like Spanish edition of the Jackson 5 coffee table chumpy, and it's just great paper, great quality paper, just lots of photos from the Motown archives as well as the Jackson family personal archive. So, you can imagine that Michael's right there at the press conference, not realizing that Don King is about to blow his hair up. So he said, yes, I don't really want to do this, Don. It's like, yeah, but it's for the family. We're gonna make so much goddamn money. It's like, yeah, but it's gonna cost me my entire life because after that I'll be addicted to painkillers from all the burns. You know, but that might have been payback. I don't know. What was the timeline on the Victory Tour versus Michael Jackson stealing the Beatles catalog? I always saw that as karma. Like you steal the Beatles catalog, your hair gets caught on fire. They say. Karma's real. Oh, he's still famous. These kids are still just as nuts as he was. Anyway, say. So this it's beat to shit, but it's the Colombian pressing, Phillips. Actually, vinyl's beat to shit too. I don't know, but you know, you do it for the artwork. I have a friend who's into Barry White, so you know, I'm not gonna order this, but if I see it in my hand, I'll grab it. That's the fun part about browsing for things. Again, you know, the paper is thinner than what we're accustomed to in America. I would imagine most people watching are in North America, so they print on a thinner paper. This is a French album actually, but it's a Colombian pressing. So it's a French artist, 1982. I said, well, you know, if it sounds like anything, maybe I can clean it up and put it on the channel, let people listen to it. This I'll save for last. Probably hit 30 minutes exactly. So 30 minutes I saved you from watching another rerun at times if you watch the whole thing. This I have no idea who this woman is, but I like the cover, and you know, so Burke. She must have some black people in her family. Burke. This, you know, rest in peace, Captain. He just passed away. This was in the store. But what I thought was interesting, it's their hit album, "Do That to Me One More Time," but the lead track is the Spanish rendition, and then it's the rest of the album, including on side B, the English version of "Do That to Me One More Time." So I guess you could say that this is like an EP. It's even, I guess, it's a white label. It's a radio. Is it a radio? It might be a radio pressing. So who knows? You know, like promo copy. It could have some value to somebody if they had one of those suction machines. But I would imagine that the Spanish version is pretty available. This I feel like will pay for the whole excursion in terms of the record buying. This is a movie I vaguely remember, Soup for One. I don't recall it. I had to do the research. I don't recall it ever being on even VHS. I don't know who made it. Warner Brothers Pictures, Marvin Worth. You would think that this movie, and it must be ridiculously bad. But and other people might know this. I wasn't familiar, but Chic, Nile Rodgers did the soundtrack. And as you can see, Chic, Debbie Harry from Blondie, Teddy Pendergrass, Carly Simon's Sister Sledge, Fonzie Thornton, who's a big name. Was it ever on VHS? I know it's not on DVD. To my knowledge, it might have come out yesterday. I wasn't aware. But what was interesting to me, just on the back, here's Teddy Pendergrass and a still from the movie. So I was like, shit, I had no, this was the thing that I was like, wow, I never even knew Teddy Pendergrass acted in a movie. So this made it worth the trip, and it's very clean vinyl. So you know this is going up, and hopefully it brings us some attention. I mean, they'll take all the money, but it'll bring us some attention to the channel. I'm very, very curious. While I'm sitting here, I'm just gonna look up Soup for One on Wikipedia. But yeah. Chic Soup for One Wikipedia. Interesting. Other people have searched for this information. Soup for One. And then there's a Soup for One soundtrack. Okay. So Soup for One is the soundtrack to the movie Soup for One by American R&B band Chic, released by Mirage Records in 1982. 68 on the Billboard 200, at number 80. And the Tribe Called Quest sampled Why for their 1990 hit Bonita Applebum. So that's a Carly Simon song that was sampled by Tribe Called Quest. And then Dream Girl is the name of the song by Teddy Pendergrass. So I don't know. Let's see if we can find Dream Girl real quick on Spotify. But otherwise, we can wind it out. Give Teddy Pendergrass a couple dollars and a shout out for the channel. Dream Girl songs. I'll put in Pendergrass. The Super for One soundtrack is already up. Little did I know, the soundtrack is already on Spotify. So you don't have to travel as far as I did. If you have Spotify, you can hear Why. I don't hear Bonita Applebum here. I'm listening to Bonita Applebum.
Why does your love hurt so much? Don't know why. You know I love
There
you.
must be a break in this thing.
All the while.
Bonita Applebum. You gotta put me on.
Here's what I say. Don't know.
I give it up to Q-Tip. If he found Bonita Applebum and that fucking record, he's a bigger genius than I thought. This is Teddy. Yeah, I had a nice island flavor, man. It's nice. I'm sure it's a good album.
My dream girl, you would be number one.
Now he's in the movie, so this is before the accident. Like literally, this might have been his tryout for an acting career. A scene or two in this movie. So I have to look for the movie now. Can this nigga act? Let's put him in a movie. Get one scene. Oh, there's a 12-inch version of Why, also on Spotify. This is Debbie Harry from Blondie. Let's see.
Down like a yo-yo swing, try to do it like this. Jump, jump, no, like this. Jump, do it for a kiss. Jump, do it like this. Jump.
I hear a lot of I don't know who produced it. It sounds like a little bit of the New York flavors really kicking in there with Tom Club. You know, just sort of she's a very experimental artist. So, but it sounds like it might have been produced by like an in-house production. It wasn't an outside producer. It sounds a little like Tom Club production, or maybe Tom comes Talking Heads. So I would think who sees this shit is in Spanish, in vinyl. And then Super One, I don't know. This was not a hit for Chic. No, it's not. You can tell it right off the bat. It's not Rodgers.
One, when you're on the run, when you're by yourself, someone else. Why must I be so depressed? I feel I'm not like the rest. No, 'cause I don't love to be right.
Interesting. That's something I'd be more interested in finding out more about. Because apparently Chic did the entire score. Bernard Rogers and Nile, or it was Bernard. Bernard Edwards, rest in peace, and Nile Rodgers and Tony Thompson. They pretty much produced the entire album. It looks like they brought in all these different artists, as you see, to work on tracks. And you know, maybe it was probably just for fucking off some money to get a soundtrack made. It doesn't look like it's much of a movie, but I've never seen it. So, all right, finally, Frida Payne, Invictus Records. You know, a lot of. I'm under the impression right now that the Invictus catalog is in some disarray. The Hot Wax, all that stuff it's a little difficult to find the full album releases. So I just took a shot at that, and I said I would, you know, that would definitely make the channels very clean vinyl, gatefold. It's an odd gatefold. I'm not used to. So you can see why people tore it up because they're used to flipping down, but. I guess. Oh, okay. I see what they did. I don't want to tear this off. I guess I should. It doesn't really matter, does it? So her record, you get. This is when they're really spending money to promote music. Then almost life-size Frida Payne as part of the deal, and then. You know, so then that was attached, as you saw, to the record, which opens backwards. So somebody, you know, very, very decent unplayed. Somebody took good care of it. Obviously, took good enough care of it not to tear the fucking poster off until I did, right? So that was, and then the final thing, I love this album. I'll play a little piece of it just so maybe somebody gets some money off of it. About to wind this down, but You Are Everything. I think that was the one. Diana Marvin. You know, it was very difficult to get Marvin into the studio. Well, this is a great album. I mean, if people don't know it, they should definitely listen to it after I get off here. But they do a lot of covers of Philly songs. You Are Everything, Tom Bell record leads it off. There's a cover of Don't Knock My Love, which was, I think, Jerry Butler, I think. Don't Knock My Love. So that's a cover of Tom Bell. You know.
You're alone all the time. Does it ever puzzle you? Have you asked why you seem to fall in love? And
so the interesting thing is,
do you really
cover,
love? Or just pretend? Oh, baby.
So it has this different artwork that I thought was. I said, wow.
To have your say.
It's never too late, never too late, too late.
Look, yeah, listen to your heart, hear what it says. Stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it says.
So I've never seen this image before. And it's the cover to the
You can't hide
Venezuelan pressing
you really feel.
of the Diana
This time
Martin. So
decide that you
either I'm gonna find a cleaner copy,
let it in.
you know, but this image is getting framed. If you ever come to my crib, you'll see this framed
You
up.
feel within.
But you know, I thought that was just worth discovering. And then This was a single. I don't know if people know this. All right, so that's it. Wind it out with the song. What's wrong? You don't like me leaving? Start over. Baby.
But I let you slip through like rain, you said at the beginning when I didn't care, like my own reflection. You were always there, my mistake. Love you, girl. Love you, girl. My mistake, baby. Give my all, tell the world.
You were the sweetheart in my very own head. But what did I do for you? Not a thing. In front of my friends, you broke me down. Since then, darling, it's hard to track you down. And my mistake. Love you more. Love you more. My mistake was to give my all. Tell the world. Ooh, yeah. Oh, my mistake.
Many a smile you put on my face, but I think, dear, when you